Hello, friends. Welcome to our Petite Stitchery and Co. Tristyn Leggings Sew Along Day 3. Today we are sewing up our Moto patches. I have to admit, I have never sewn Moto's patches before, and I was a tad bit nervous about steering you wrong. So I did just a couple of practice ones, and my first one, I don't think I did it right, but I think that's okay. But I learned from my mistakes. And I did it. And I'm excited to do it with you. So, pardon me. There's a lot of Moto sewing we've got to do because we've got to do the patches for both sides. So this could be a lengthy day. I don't know. It could be quick. But I figure let's do it together. I could do one on camera and then do the other off camera, but I was like, you know what? Let's just do it together. If you have to do it, let's do it together. So if you're doing the Moto patch today, we're just going to sew it together. And then we'll cut it out of our pattern piece and we'll be ready for tomorrow where we will put our color block pieces together. So let's just get right to it. I'm going to show you here on this other camera. So what I struggled with was understanding what exactly they meant by wrong sides together, because I'm like, how? In my head, I just couldn't put it together. So what we need to do is we need to just fold this right up under. So the entire piece will fold right under to this line. And then we're going to sew 1/8 of an inch away from the line. And then what will happen is this will then stand up like these other pieces. So that's what they mean. So it's not, because like here what I did is I like scrunched it, like folded it. It wasn't right. What we need to do is we need to just fold the entire piece under, wrong sides together. I'm sorry. Other words, we'll get the opposite. So wrong sides together. We're just going to fold it right on that line then. So just folding it completely under, right on the line, and then we stitch 1/8 of an inch from the line. If you want to make it easier, you can go through and iron the patches, each line, so that you know that it's 100% accurate. I'm not doing that because I find sometimes when I iron double brush poly or just knits in general, it doesn't always like to stay. So I'm just gonna go with the flow, and all we do is we just sew 1/8 of an inch away. We got stuck. I have not had a single problem with this. And then of course I get on camera the second I get on camera. But there we go. Just got a little knotted. Check to make sure that this is okay. But anyways, we're just gonna sew 1/8 of an inch away all the way down the Moto line there. There we go. Keeping it folded in half, wrong sides together. Okay, here we go. Make sure though that it's all like it's not folded on itself. It needs to all be underneath the piece. Okay, and there we have it. Another one. So let's do it again. Ironing it probably would be a good idea. But the other problem with ironing I was worried about is that I used all iron like heat pens, so once heat touches them the marks go away, but I guess if they're ironed on it's okay. I might be doing more of a 1/4 inch away than 1/8 of an inch as well, but I'm not too worried about it. So just over and over again, just kind of like an accordion, folding it down along the line, sewing about 1/8 of an inch away from that line. But I definitely was overthinking it because I was like, what do they mean right sides, wrong sides together? I don't get it. I'm like, do I pinch it? What do I do? I don't get it. So all you do is you literally fold it down. And then we've got the beginnings of our motos. So yeah, you just fold it down. I love when I overthink something and I find out it's actually a lot easier than what I was originally thinking it would be. Because I'm like, oh, this isn't so bad, I guess. I could do this. Again, I'm really sorry about my sniffles. I think this Moto piece is... Hopefully it's not underneath it. We'll find out. Oh yeah, we're good. Just keep swimming. Just keep Moto. Yeah, this was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was really dreading this. I was like, oh no, this is not going to be good. I'm gonna cuss on the video. It actually takes a lot for me to cuss when I'm sewing. It takes a lot for me to cuss in general, but especially when I'm sewing. Sewing's my happy space. Okay, just keeping it. Oh, come on, we're so close. Let me just finish this one, please. Oh no, let's see. Oh, I ran out just at the end. All right, it's okay. I knew I was close, so I made another one ahead of time. Oh, what's this? There's an extra tail. All right, so let's just finish that one up really quick because I just lost the last like 1.5 inches or so. I did use black thread on this burgundy because I didn't think it would I don't know, I didn't think it would show, but now thinking about it, probably it might, maybe not. There might be. So again, just folding right on that line, just folding right down. Maybe it won't show. Maybe it's just going to be so, there's going to be so much texture there that it doesn't even matter if it shows because nobody's going to be looking at it. How easy peasy is this? And I was like, I'm going to be here all night. These pieces are huge. It's not, like, it's going so fast. I do recommend starting, so like don't try and get right at the edge when you begin. You want to start probably like 1/4 inch in or so because you don't want your machine to just pull the fabric right down into the feed dogs. So I'm really sorry about the sniffles. I'm so excited I tried this finally because I love it. It gives so much character to something, and it's not like it's a little time consuming. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not crazy time consuming. You know, it's not like we're gonna be here for hours. No, I think we'll be able to get the whole thing done probably in about 30 minutes or less, and that's 2 huge pieces. You know, if you're doing it for kids, that's even faster. You know, of course, if you iron, it's going to be a little bit extra time because you'll have to add the ironing time in it. I do think probably ironing. Oh, there we go. I got tangled up again. Not too bad this time. I do think ironing would probably be good if you're using, especially if you're using more of like a heavier weight, something that's going to hold the iron a little better. The ironing. Oh. I can tell my Dayquil's worn off. That, and usually, like I find in general, when I come out to my sewing space, I'm just a bit more sniffly. I think it's because all the dust from the fabric and cutting. And, I keep telling my husband I need an air purifier out here. It's like my lungs are probably filled with fabric dust. But I think we're about halfway done with this piece. Maybe more. It's hard to tell exactly because, like, the piece gets smaller. Obviously, the more motos you put in, Pintex. I love learning a new technique, and I love when I find out that technique is not nearly as hard as I think it is. This is awesome. This is so great. So I don't know if it's this way for y'all or not, but when I get sick, it seems like everything in my house just falls apart. So I was really sick on Saturday. I didn't get out of bed, I don't think, all day on Thursday or Friday. I just couldn't. I would try, and it's that kind of sickness that, like, it just zaps everything in, like, from you. So, like, I would walk from our room to the kitchen to get a glass of water, and I'd think, oh, okay, I'll sit out here for a little bit and hang out with the kids and maybe play a game or something. And it was just like, nope. I would go to the kitchen and get my glass of water and then have to come right back to the room because I just couldn't. I was exhausted. And then I would sleep for like 30 minutes. But anyways, so all Friday I didn't get out of bed. All Thursday I didn't get out of bed. And Saturday, I stayed in bed most of the day Saturday as well. But what happened was I asked my husband to give our dog a bath because, I mean, we live in the desert, but it's very windy here and it's very dusty here. So it's not, it's not cold, although it's supposed to get cold this weekend. I'm kind of excited, but it doesn't get, it doesn't get cold here. So he gave the dog a bath and let him outside to dry off. Now keep in mind, it's 60, 70 degrees, the dog's fine. He towel dried him and then put him outside, obviously, but he didn't put his collar on him because our dog does not like getting wet. He's weird. He just doesn't care for it. So when he dries off, he likes to just run around and be crazy and rub up against things, and we don't want his collar to get caught on anything while he's running around. So my hubby didn't put the collar on him, and then I called him from the bedroom because I noticed it was starting to get a little dark outside, and the chickens were out in our back lot in the garden area because we're trying to let them do some tilling and get any bugs that maybe are hanging out there, wintering there. Hopefully they can get them so that they don't get our crops. So I was like, hey, you might want to let the chickens into the main yard so that they know they can go to bed when they're ready. So he went out and he brought the chickens inside into our main yard, but the kiddos went out with him and they did not make sure to close the gate behind them. And our dog does not leave our yard. Even when the gate's open, never leaves the yard. He just is not. He's the chillest dog, and he knows where he gets all his pets and where he gets all his food from, and that's all he cares about. He cares about love and food. He's a typical dog. A typical male dog. Male. Anyways, not really. I'm just jesting. But he does love and food. That's all he cares. Attention and food. So he never leaves our yard because he knows where he gets his food. He knows his kiddos and his family love him. But my husband went out about an hour later to put the collar back on the dog, and the dog wasn't there. So we spent most of Saturday evening wandering around our neighborhood trying to find him. Like, oh, well, maybe he got, he has no prey drive. So like squirrels, birds, nothing. He doesn't care. He just does not. He is the sweetest dog. So we couldn't figure out, like, why did he leave the yard? There's nothing that would entice him. And we drove around for hours, and the kids were all terribly upset, and it was hard on all of us. We just lost another family dog, not lost him, but he passed away from cancer a few months ago. So Loki is our dog. He kept my kids together. So they're now devastated, and we're searching around and we can't find him. And then Sunday, my family, I can't go because I have the plague. But on Sunday, the kiddos, they get dressed and they're like, they made a poster and they went wandering, went door to door to all the neighbors asking if anybody had seen him. And one of our neighbors had said that they had seen a green truck grab a dog from our back lot Saturday afternoon. So we don't know if Loki just saw the gate open and then saw somebody out there, and Loki, being the friendly dog he is, he just wanted to say hi, or if someone had a treat or enticed him out. But so our weekend was quite quite eventful trying to find our dog and finding out that he was potentially stolen. And so my husband made a police report, and on Monday, because we had to wait, we needed to make sure he wasn't dropped off at the shelter, or someone hadn't picked him up. We put it all over Facebook. We put it all over, everywhere we could think of. And then, so on Monday morning, my husband called the shelter. He called all the vets, and nobody had seen him. Nobody had heard anything. So he's like, I don't know what else to do. We have to put out a police report, or we have to file a police report, because either he's hurt, he wandered off and he's hurt, which seems very strange for him to do, or somebody took him. So we had to go through the rigmarole of that, and it was kind of a disaster weekend for us, on top of all this other stuff going. I'm sick, and on top of that, all this other stuff is now going on, and I'm trying to console our kids, and but I'm happy to report we got our dog back. We still don't know exactly what happened, but we got him back, and that's the most important part. That's all we care about. So anyways, all that to say, I feel like when I get sick, and I get pretty dramatic when I'm sick. I kind of nurse it for all I can get out of it. But when I get sick, it seems like just everything hits the fan. Like our world kind of falls apart every time I get sick, I feel like. But again, we're almost done. How awesome. They're a little wavy, but I mean, I'm not surprised about that, because it's double brush poly, and pardon me, we're sewing it. So I'm not surprised that they're a little wavy, but that'll iron right out. But we're almost done with this panel. Okay, so now we have all of our Moto piece, or our Moto piece done for, this is for the calves, I believe. So Moto piece for the calves done. I'm so excited about this. I've never done anything like that before. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so easy. I can't believe how awesome this is. All right, so same thing. This will be the thigh pieces. Hopefully, she says to work from the top down. And I'm just like, what's the top? So this one, it's a little bit easier to tell, because the top is, the bottom has a little bit more of a gap between the edge, the raw edge, and the line. So again, we're just going to fold it right in half on that line, and then sew about 1/8 of an inch away from the line. So yeah, here's how it should look when you start. And then if you look at this one, whoops. So yeah, if you look at, here we go. This one, you can see what I did was, instead of folding it down on the line, I folded it in half so that it folded over to the line. I don't know if you can see it. So that's why this one just laid down straight, because I didn't do it correctly. So I'm glad, though, that I tried it before I got on camera, because otherwise you guys, or y'all, would have been sitting with me as I went, how am I supposed to do this? So again, just fold. So you're going to fold right on that line. and then an 1/8 inch away. I told my hubby, I was like, it's probably going to be a late night for me. I've got to do this Moto patch. I've never done it before. I don't know how it's going to be. And I mean, as to be, he's, you know, every right. He was not too happy with me. He's like, you're just getting over being sick. You need to rest. So he's going to be very happy to hear that this isn't taking me like hours. So I think part of my fabric got in my fold. Oops. It's okay. Just make sure this one doesn't. There you go. That should be good. I will have to say, this past week, being in bed most of the time was kind of nice because I might just cut that if I need it. Anyways, it was kind of nice because I read a ton. I love reading. Like, reading's kind of my go-to thing. Okay, so this needs to go here. So I didn't I thought for sure, I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna binge Netflix, but instead I just laid in bed and read a lot, and I was very happy about it. So my husband's like, I know you're sick because you'd rather read than watch TV. And not saying like reading is sick, but more because I keep trying to do the next one over instead of the one that I'm working in. But because he knows if I'm reading, I don't know. Reading is kind of my comfort thing when I'm not feeling good. Watching TV, I get too emotionally, or not emotionally, just too drawn in sometimes, you know. But reading, you just kind of lose yourself, and then if you fall asleep, you're not like, oh no, now I gotta rewind it. And if you fall asleep and you're reading a good book, you might get lucky and dream about the book. But I basically lived in my Colby and Tristyn leggings last weekend because they were just the most comfortable things, and they were great because if I got too hot, I just piled on some blankets and put a sweater on. But then once my fever started to break, I could just throw it all off and be comfortable in my Colby. And okay. Not sure that this one is going quite as well as the other one. I mean, it's not bad. I just don't think I switched from my white pen that I was using to a black or navy, and I switch from my white pen because it wasn't working as well as I would have liked it to. But the black or navy is harder to see than the white was. So now I'm struggling with that. Oh, I keep forgetting that. So if you look at my Moto and you're like, hey, those aren't perfect, it's okay. Neither am I. I'm sorry. Sorry for the sniffles. Pardon me. I just love that this is way easier than I was expecting it to be. Love, love, love it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's time consuming because you're sitting here sewing lines in something repeatedly. So it's not like, yay, I get to sew a Moto. You know, it's like, but it's actually, it is kind of fun though because you get to see it. You know, like you're sewing lines in something repeatedly, but you get to see how it comes out. And it goes a lot faster than you think it would. So yeah, you're just gonna fold it right in half right on that line. So I was so overthinking it because I'm like, do I pinch it? I know I probably already said this, but I'm just shocked at how easy it actually is. I just hope there's enough room on the panels for there to be a little mistake at the top. We'll find out. So one thing I didn't do quite correctly is I did not do my line all the way across. I just did it on either end in the middle. And I wish I had done it all the way across just to help see it easier. But the problem I ran into with that was that it's really hard to draw a line on stretchy fabric. So I compromised and it's working. Oh, sorry. Loud noises. There we go. My pedal fell off my little stool. My little pedal stool. pedestal. We watched the movie Jungle Cruise on Saturday or on Sunday. It's so cute. We went on the Jungle Cruise ride twice while we were at Disneyland. We went once during the day and once at night because we thought we'd see if it's any different or but it was one of our littlest guy's favorite rides. So we did it twice. But my favorite part of it is just the cheesy, corny jokes that they tell, right? The terrible dad jokes that you can't help but laugh at because they're just so terrible. But I loved how in the movie they actually incorporated those into the movie. So it was a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it. Okay, we're making some good progress. Again, we're just folding right in half on that line and sewing about 1/8 of an inch from the line. Perfect. I don't know. Hopefully you're enjoying doing this with me. I know it's just a lot of like sewing, just the same thing over and over again. So there's not a lot that I can like say, oh, do this or do this. But sometimes I find when you do these, like, I don't know what word I'm looking for because I don't want to say menial, I don't think. But these kind of mind-numbing things, it's always nice to have something. So who knows? Maybe you're like, yeah, I'm done listening to you. I'm going to turn on a podcast. If you did, I don't blame you. So you gave me what I wanted. That's all I needed. I do that a lot. I just watch the part of the video that I need, and then I'm like, thank you, bye. So absolutely no judgment if that is what you did as well. So we're just going to continue this all the way down this piece, and then what we'll need to do is we'll need to pull our pattern back up and cut the side pieces out of these Moto panels now, since we didn't cut them. So we'll need, I believe it's middle, well, there's a special Moto part for it, but it'll be I believe the middle B and the front C, I believe is what it is. But again, don't cut those pieces because they're special ones for the Moto. So we'll cut those. It's a little bigger, but I think we're probably about halfway. Who knew? Making Moto patches is a lot easier than you would think. So again, just a reminder, all we're doing is folding in half on those lines, wrong sides together. So we're, because I thought, like, do you pinch it together? Like, how do you do this? I just could not picture it until I actually did it. And then I was like, oh, I see. I see now. I love this too because it's going to add so much character to bottoms now. Like, especially for my guys, I don't like making them bottoms too much because I feel like they're always just kind of boring. But they would love this. Just trying to make sure I'm right on my line still. I think that's good. That's probably not all even. Like I said, I didn't draw my line all the way across, so some of it is a bit of a guessing game for me. But hopefully it won't be too distracting. I think so far, look at that. Yeah. I'm digging it. There's my line. I'm so sorry for this necklace again. I feel like probably once you've done this a few times, you can probably figure out a way to do it faster. I do think, ironing it would help, but I don't know if it would necessarily make it go faster because then you have to iron it. Like, but ironing them, you could probably make sure they're more even. I guess it depends if you like ironing or not. Me, not so much. Not a big fan of the iron. I mean, I don't mind it. Just sometimes I feel like, it's one more step. But I have learned a lot lately, especially doing these so long sets. Sometimes that extra step is worth it. Look at how amazing this stuff is. I mean, it hasn't been stuck down. I mean, we had that one little knot up, but I'm starting right at the edge of my fabric and going. This Lex fabric is just divine. It's so amazing. I love it. If you see me sewing anything, any double brush poly that's not Lex, come after me. Someone shake me, because this stuff is glorious. Oh man, I think I'm about to go through another bobbin. Oof. Hope not. We're close to being done. The sewing machine is probably thinking, wow, I can actually be used. I use it actually quite a bit. A lot more lately because I've been doing more applique stuff, but I tend to, when I'm working on garments, just use my cover stitch and my serger. Go super close. See, this is where like video editing would come in handy, because then I would just make this speed by and feel like it took like 20 minutes. Or no, not even, like 5 minutes. But welcome to real life. And me. I don't know how to do video editing. I mean, I'm sure I could figure it out, but I'd rather so. Sometimes I just think it's nice to see how long something really takes, or, you know, like do it with somebody sometimes. I don't know. Hopefully somebody somewhere enjoys it. Even if you just enjoy listening to my ramblings. Over. Super close. I use super a lot. Look at how awesome this looks. That's so cool. It's so textured. I'm going to have a hard time not just like feeling it constantly. What are you doing? Oh, just petting my Moto. That sounds wrong. I can't help it. Every time I think of Moto, I don't know if you've seen, it's one of the, I think it's the second, I don't know what those movies called. My kids like them. With the animals, golly gee, and the penguins. Oh, Madagascar movies. Escape to Madagascar. Or something like that. But I think it's the second one with the hippo. His name is Moto. So nice. He has to say it twice. So every time I hear Moto, that song comes in my head. I like him round. He's a hippo. Oof. Definitely not doing the navy marker or pen again. Need something a little bit more easy to see. Hopefully I can figure out why my white pen stopped working. Just a couple more. So again, just folding right in half on those lines, wrong sides together, about 1/8 of an inch away. This one all the way down. If you are having some trouble and your machine is sucking the fabric under quite a lot, use some tissue paper. Just slip some tissue paper underneath as you go, and then once you're done, you just rip the tissue paper out. The first time I heard it, I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, I've heard it for a while, and I was like, no thanks. I'm not going to do that. That's going to mess up my machine. You're crazy. And then in our green style Lumia zip-up hoodie, Sew Along, I was having some issues with my machine pulling the fabric down on my cuffs. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to try regular paper because I didn't have tissue paper on hand, and worked like a charm. And then since then, I've had a couple other times that I had to put some tissue paper down, and definitely worth it. I can't believe how well it works. So if you are having trouble in your machines eating your fabric more than sewing it, try laying some tissue paper down. Just a couple more. One, two, three, 4 more, and then we're done. I need to shore up my table. This camera's broken a lot. Hopefully you're not getting seasick. Hopefully you're too busy watching your machine to watch me. But let me just say, if I can do this, again, first time ever doing a moto, you can do this. It's time consuming, I'm not gonna lie, but it's not hard. It's really easy. It's really awesome. I definitely recommend doing it. Okay. Every time I saw it, I was just like, man, what wizardry is this? Someday I'll be skilled enough. No, all you need to do is sew a straight line. That's it. That's all you need to do to sew a moto. Two more. Again, just like when you typically sew, don't push it, don't pull it through your machine. I know, like, you wait till now to say it, but just let it go. Let your machine take it. You don't need to add anything to it. Just guide it kind of to make sure it's staying on the right path, but that's it. so close. I lost my top thread. Which my thread's like almost empty, so I think it's getting stuck on itself. So close. All right, let's finish this up. That was the last one. Look how awesome that looks. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I'm so excited about that. Like crazy, ridiculously excited about it. All right, so let's move this out of the way really quick here. I am going to get rid of this camera. All that's left to do now is we need to cut out the pieces, the Moto pieces on our piece here. So, oops. Sorry, my camera, my computer, when I turn the projector on, is always like, hold up, what's happened? All right, so I got to get my projector file at the right percentage. Come all the way down to the end of the Moto pieces. The Moto pieces are on either side of the panel, so shouldn't be too hard to find them, hopefully. I think my Moto pieces are slightly a little small, maybe just right. Let me make sure I got the right piece on it. Yeah, okay. So let's see. Put this down a little bit. All right, and the smaller Moto piece is going to be the calf Moto. So we need to line that up. Oops, I don't want this one. No. Okay, so we're going to do this first one. And we don't need it yet. Okay, we're just going to cut right on. Where it needs to go. So here's our first calf Moto piece. Got a little piece hanging on. Okay, so here's our first calf Moto piece. Oh, it looks so cool. I love it. I love it. Okay, and then our second calf Moto piece here. I wonder if I do it like this. Nope. I mean, I could, but I'm just gonna have to stretch a little bit, I think. Not too much, but right, and just cutting right along that this way. Yeah, I know. I think that's perfect, just like that. So then here's our second Moto piece. Got a little bit of thread here that'll clip off. Okay, so we've got two calf pieces now. Pardon me. I might save that for something, see if I can tie it in somewhere to another project. I worked so hard on it. All right, now we need to do these other leg pieces, the thigh pieces. So I'm going to make sure to put the bottom part down And then just trim those pieces out, making sure you mark which side is front. You can also mark the back if you want. I like to just mark one so I don't get confused later. But so here's our first thigh Moto piece. Oh my word, that is so I'm like really geeked out by this. Like, oh, so cool. Okay, and then let's do our second thigh Moto piece here. So same thing, I'm just gonna mark where my front is. And then down. And there we have it. We just completed our Moto pieces. That's so cool. I know it's kind of a bit of a longer day today because of doing that. It's a little bit more intense. But we're all prepped now to start our color blocking pieces tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll start sewing the color block piece. We'll sew the color block front and the color block back. And then we'll put it all together and we'll be done. I am so excited about these. This Moto, sorry, it probably froze up again. This Moto was so much easier. It took time. It took a lot of time. I'm not going to lie. How cool is that? Oh my word. That's so awesome. I'm excited. I'm so excited now. This was probably the part. No, not probably. This was the part I was like dreading because I was like, I don't know how to do this. But it's so cool. It's so cool. All right. So I will see you tomorrow where we will sew up the color block pieces. And then on Friday, we'll put it all together. I can't wait. See you later. Bye.